What's good, guys? Welcome to another episode of my YouTube channel. Y'all know, beside the updates, beside the news, I also like to bring my humble opinion about the current situation that is going on in my country between US and Colombia. The president of Colombia, of the government of Colombia, has been thinking in kicking off the soldiers, the army from the United States that are located, that are working in Colombian military bases after the president of Colombia, Gustavo Petro, he got added into the Clinton list. He got prohibited to go to the U.S. and to many other things, to be able to do many other things in that country. Let's speak about this, and I'm going to get, like I say, my humble opinion in all this drama. In the recent weeks, it's been a whole drama between the U.S. and Colombia, but this past week in Colombia, we just got informed. We just realized that our president got included into the Clinton list in the United States. I got to admit, I had to say that I didn't know what this list was about, but he basically is not able to do a lot of things in the U.S. and I think like he's prohibited to visit the U.S. because this person, Donald Trump, accused our president to be Pablo Escobar from Timu without even a proof, because he should have got some proof at Alibaba and prove the world that our president, he is a Pablo Escobar from Timu and he run the same business that Pablo Escobar was running back on the days. Basically, this is a lack of respect for our people in Colombia. Even the people that don't agree, that don't get along with the president, are defending our president because they know that this president in Colombia, he's been accusing, he's been taking off masks from people who are running those business and they were undercover for many years. Nobody can show me a government that in Colombian history has caught more kilos of the white painting in Colombia like this government had done so far. So this person, Donald Trump, he can't stand up and accuse our president to be to run those type of business, because I don't think this man know like how beautiful Colombia is or where Colombia is, because even in the post that he stay, he doesn't stop calling Colombia. This is Colombia. This is Colombia, it's not Colombia. So it's a lack of respect for our people, for our president. And, like we're really, like, a lot of people feel offended with that because, like I say, even I have a lot of uncles who don't like the president because our president ain't perfect and he get more support from young people. But, like even my uncles, a lot of my uncles were saying, like, this man is crazy. Petro is being accusing and he's been sending a lot of people to jails, that they were undercover for many years and for many governments, and he sent them to prison because they were untouchable back then, but now not with him, and not even when he was a congressman. This man, he's been awesome doing that. I'm not saying he's been awesome president because, like I said, he's a human. He can make a lot of mistakes, but he's been awesome, doing that. And also, I was reading that basic, with all this drama, that a lot of people were protesting out. And let me tell you guys that this president, he got a lot of support from the people. He got elected by almost 11 million of Colombians, and it was a lot of people that they don't even like to vote. So he got a large, number of amount of people that follow him. You know what I mean? So, basic on this, the government of Colombia was starting in kicking out the army base, the U.S. soldiers in Colombia, which is a lot of them. I have met a lot of soldiers who are from the U.S. and they are, in Colombian base, teaching them, training them and doing a lot of stuff, between Colombian army, because Colombian army is really good too, because we've been in battles for almost a 60 year with a lot of army groups and with a lot of, illegal groups. So these people, they know, like how to defend, the country too. Also, I also been reading that the U.S. is starting into saying to do these attacks that they had done to the boats and that I also read that some of them they were fishermen. That's what they said, but I don't have proof about that, and we can speak without proof. The only proof that I saw was a family member for one of the person that she came up and said that this man, he was only a fisherman, and the motor with diamonds at the middle of the sea, and he just got they just delay him because suspect of something like that. But like I say, I don't have proofs about that, but this is really bad. This is really bad because now Colombia is doing really good with tourism, especially with tourism, from the US, and we get a lot of support. I always been saying, on social media, and every time that I had the opportunity to speak about and to say, because I always like to say the facts, what it is, the reality, and the ones who support Colombia more in tourism are, tourists from America. And if things goes back, between both of our country, this is gonna be bad for everybody, especially for us, who work with tourism, and for those who like to be in Colombia. So I hope this situation, they can fix it really quick and well. The president is also, I think he got accused, of being a Pablo Escobar from Timu to run those type of business. He invited Donald Trump to come to Colombia and to confiscate it, white business without hurting people. But like I say, everyone thinks different, and I don't think they doing this because we trying to defend Venezuela, we trying to defend Colombia. I also think this is all about resources, because if it was about defending the democracy of a country, or to defend the citizens of those countries, then we had to focus on Cuba first. Cuba is close, it's smaller, and it would be easy for them to go there because it's close to their territory. But they come all the way down here to Colombian coast and to Venezuelan coast to say that they defending the democracy or some. It's not a secret that my country and other countries had the reputation to work a lot with this type of business. But what I can be secure and what I can confront to you guys is like we're doing better now thanks to this president that we have right now. If it wasn't for him, I can promise you guys that it would be more business arriving to the US. But thanks to this president that we're doing better, and like I say, a lot of people got surprised when the president got added to the list without even proof, because if you're gonna accuse somebody, you gotta make sure that you at least have proof to put this man on that list that is gonna prohibit them to go. It's gonna prohibit him to go to the States, and to be able to do a lot of things, to run a bank account over there, all of that. The president has been saying, and we know because a lot of us, we know the reality because we are on social media, we read, every day I'm on Facebook, WhatsApp, IG, all of that, TikTok. And the president has said that they fell in some type of way because he's not helping them to go to Venezuela and invade them. This is going to be something really stupid because, like I said on my last video, there is a lot of Colombians who live there, and there is a lot of Colombians who have families over there. There is a ton of Colombians over there. The borders, all of that can affect acts just because we had to be good to them. You know what I mean? And I don't think like this is something that I can agree with, because like I say, my president ain't perfect, Donald Trump ain't perfect. Both of them, they very difficult person to deal with. But on this, I think I'm gonna give the reason to my president in this point, fellas. This is something that I hope, because this is very sad, because it seems like we never can get away from the war, from the conflict, from all of that. Colombia has been in a war for over 60 years, and we're trying to do better. We want to take a break. We're tired of that, and the president is saying that, Colombia could be like very tough country. Colombia is a really tough country because even Colombians are scared to travel to other cities in Colombia because, like they never been there and they afraid to go visit because in some cities in Colombia, in some towns, when you go, they already know who you are, where you're coming from, what you're gonna do over there. And if they don't like you, they also can delete you. You know what I mean? So these are the street code that I see work out in Colombia, and I'm sure in a lot of countries, around the world. But like I say, we're tired of that, and we decide, a better future, be free, to be who we want to be, to be in a better position. You know what I mean? And I'm sure my president, even he can be a lot of crazy sometimes. He don't want troubles with the U.S., all of that. But we are at this point that, like the government is thinking and kicking out the U.S. soldiers in town, which is sad. We always been getting along with the United States, and we've been helping them because a lot of people been losing their life, in this crazy war, because of the white business. A lot of people, millions of people, thousands of people, they've been losing their life in Colombia because everybody, want to win, and for other people to win, some people has to go from this world. You know what I mean? So this is the reality that we live in Colombia. Judges, police, soldiers, they lose their life, because all of this. And now this man step up and accuse our country. And our country, we had the reputation, and that's the reality I can find against that. But accuse our president to be a boss leader, this is something like which is really, 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 really bad, fellas. This is the current situation, and I don't think this man is thinking that a lot of the thousands of Americans who are traveling to Colombia, and he is messing with, this people business, and they maybe not right now, but maybe at some point they're gonna get super mad that they're gonna start because of the way that these people they're getting deleted. If they get arrested, that's great, but the way how these people they getting deleted, the way how these people they been attacked. I don't hope that these groups who are in Colombia and who are in Venezuela start targeting Americans in town, which is gonna be super ugly. And by the time these people is gonna recruit the Americans in town, I hope it won't be too late. You know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna do that, but because they also benefit from Americans. Everybody benefits from American coming to Colombia because this money goes everywhere in town. The money that Americans, they live in Colombia, it goes everywhere in the country. You know what I mean? But I don't hope these people don't go too far. They don't get super mad that they had to target Americans in town, because that would be super ugly. Fellas, this is the current situation. I hope you guys like my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I've been dealing with a lot. That's the reason why I've been loose a little bit from the channel, but I'm trying to post as much as I can. Thank you so much, fellas. Thanks for everything, and see you guys on the next video. This was Carlos, the Colombian guy. Boom.